Good afternoon, everyone. This is David Rothfeder again, and we are to the last session of the first season of Night Witches. We have done every single mission except for the last one in the first full air base, and we did it one mission per session. So it has been great. We've had some great drama. We have our original cast again here for the last episode. So this is going to be great. To start with, let's just go over what happened 2 weeks ago. Last week I had a family affair, so I wasn't able to make it. So this was the scheduled session. So let's go over what happened 2 weeks ago. And let's start with Dasha. Dasha, what was important to Dasha?
Well, the very first thing that happened was that Major Ursula shot one of the pilots. That was kind of that was kind of a big thing that happened there. I'm sure I'll remember more. Oh God, yes. Yeah. I don't remember how or why. Oh God. Okay. Yes. Okay. So Masha shot down the pilot who had been like harassing us. And he landed, like crashed on our airbase. And after they dragged him out of the plane, he was still alive, but he insulted Hannah and she killed him. And the NKVD did not like that at all.
NKVD, they're just such mellow people.
Yeah. It's easy to get along with.
Excellent. Ira, was there anything that stood anything else that stood out to Ira?
I mean, personally, Ira got a letter from her sister saying she was joining up, and Hannah wrote back discouraging her, telling her to stay home and take care of their parents. Dasha got to be pilot for the first time. That was a big deal. But yeah, I think the start, Rudina getting shot in the back at the start was kind of hung heavy over everything.
Yeah, it was pretty dark. And Masha, what was standing out to Masha?
I think there's two bookend scenes that stood out for me. One was when we were burying Erudina after her execution. After doing a bit of digging on the grave, I had this short sequence of interesting scenes. The first with Hannah, where I think I was quite snarky and sharp, asking some awkward questions about what counted as betrayal. And then I had this scene where I felt guilty for not taking better care of Rudina, because I was her pilot on that mission that led to her breakdown, or at least led to her death indirectly. But then after we came back in the mission and Hannah, pistol whipped that Nazi pilot and killed him, I think we had a really good moment where the two of us bonded, which I think is the first time ever Hannah and Masha have had a positive interaction.
Yeah, excellent. And that leads us to our illustrious leader, Hannah. What happened to Hannah last session?
So it was an accident. She pistol whipped Yellowtail, but it was not her intention to kill him. It was like a gut reaction to a racial slur, and his reaction was because Hannah berated him in Yiddish, and he picked up probably.
No, you insulted him in Yiddish. He
Yeah.
responded in poor Russian, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, but he did use
And a Jewish slur.
Yes. Very, very offensive. And, to anyone who saw that, who was offended, I do apologize. It was in character. It was not meant to do that. And as I have mentioned, right before I said it, I am myself, from a Jewish family. So I understand how damaging that word is. So, I just want to make it clear that saying that word is not normally okay. Sometimes in the sake for art to really hit home the emotional impact, you make those decisions. So that was not meant to offend if anyone was. I haven't heard anyone mention it, but just want to make that absolutely clear that that's why that occurred.
And that's also why Hannah, who is normally trying to be in control, lost her temper. And then, so one other detail, it was actually the ghost of Sophia who saved Hannah and made it possible to shoot down the Yellowtail.
That's
And then
right. You were about to get hit by enemy fire, and something weird happened.
And that then, as a result of that, Hannah was taken to a black site or something by the NKVD. Punched in the guts, and her the earring her mother gave her was taken away because she dared to ask what happened to her father, who is in an NKVD prison, I assume. I don't really remember how we ended, though. I think
you had to walk a full day to get back to the base. They were not giving you a ride back after that, which I believe you already took the harm for that, because that was definitely a punishing thing to happen. So you're getting back right as everyone is waking up for the late afternoon, early evening. Does anybody see Hannah? Does anyone think they see Hannah coming back to the base?
David, did you say, I know last time Masha was put on kitchen duty because of her insolence with the major.
Oh, yeah.
Barging into the command tent. I can't remember what the timing of that was. So
that's right. You did not get to sleep during the day because you were put on kitchen duty, which means that you should also take a harm.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, in terms of timing, maybe I am kind of stumbling out of the kitchen tent as Hannah walks into camp, if that makes dramatic sense.
So yeah, you're probably dumping out some water that was used maybe for cleaning, and you just see stumbling into the camp. Hannah, how rough do you look?
I think pretty rough. So her hair is all tousled up, and I don't know, the uniform is probably dirty, and her boots because of the walking, and she's walking really slowly because she walked all night. And her eyes are obviously red from not sleeping and crying. So that's the stage she's in. But I mean, she's trying to walk straight and not make the impression that anything happened.
So Masha, what do you do seeing Hannah coming back in that state?
I think I dump the bucket of potato peelings and run right over to her. Hannah, are you okay? And maybe like any bruises that are evident on her face or anything like that, I'll take a kind of look at.
Yeah, he punched me in the guts, so I don't think that there's anything in her face.
Okay.
Hannah says, "Oh, Masha, it's okay. I had to walk, but
But you're okay?
I'm okay." When is the?
Masha, if you want to eyeball the situation, this seems like a good chance to do that.
Sure.
Because, by the way, Hannah, this is a total lie. That's why I'm saying that.
No, I've rolled a 5, and eyeball is on skill, so it's even worse.
Yeah. He said she's fine. She's probably fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally okay with that. She looks fine, right? She's a bit roughed up, I guess, from the walk. So I'll take her at her word, and I'll say, well, I mean, we better get you into condition to fly. Some coffee, a bit of a clean. You can't let the rest of the section see you like this.
I need to clean myself up. The mission briefing is coming up, so.
Yeah. So you're trying to get Hannah somewhere to get cleaned up, and right as you're coming out, geez, who? I think the whole you're heading over to the basically to where the showers are, where the women get cleaned up. I can't remember what the military term is, but one of the girls from another unit like sees Hannah and just way too loud, like, "Hannah, you're back!" And everyone's coming out of the tents to see what's going on. So you're trying to get this done subtly. Now you're the focus of the whole squadron's attention.
Yeah, Hannah just walks to the restroom if possible, if she's not stopped.
Yeah, so man, you'd be ignoring everyone trying to check in on you. So I think that would be acting up as a hooligan if you wanted to just ignore them wanting to see if you're okay.
Can I maybe like stand at the door like a bouncer and just kind of tell everyone to get the hell away?
I'm gonna let you choose who acts like a hooligan. Either Masha is going to be intimidating to keep people away from Hannah, or Hannah is going to basically brush people off and be like, "I don't need you."
Yeah, I would trust Masha to shield me.
Okay. I will reroll these. Nope. That is a 5.
So
I'm saving my good rolls for the mission, right?
So yeah, you're trying to keep the girls at bay while Hannah's taking a shower. And basically, the two people you can't keep out of there show up. That is Olga Petrova and Major Bershayskova. Yeah, I cannot say her name for the life of me. And they just look at you, Masha.
So I'll obviously I'm not sure if I've been how much of a hooligan I've been acting, a bit of shoving and maybe that kind of stuff.
You have basically been like trying to hold them back, and then crowd splits, and there's the two of them. Petrova with her still limping because she still has the sprained ankle. And yeah, these are two people. I don't know. Do you want to try to prevent them from going into the showers?
I think I'm on very thin ice where my superiors are concerned at the moment. So I will kind of snap to attention and salute them and say, Junior Lieutenant Gutman is inside, and I was advising our comrades that she required some privacy.
I didn't know that you were switched from kitchen duty to bodyguard duty.
Well, I just finished kitchen duty, I say, like showing my potato dirty stained hands. I'm next in the queue, by the way, for the washroom.
Petrova just goes, I think you better find some more dishes to wash.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And off I stalk.
So Hannah, you are in the showers and you are just starting to feel the pretty cold water. They don't really have a water heater here. And you hear basically someone coughing, the very noticeable cough to get someone's attention.
I'm ignoring that.
It's another cough louder.
I mean, do I know that it's what's the name? Hold on. Do I know that it's Vershanskaya or Olga?
If you take a look, you'll see.
Yeah, I poke my head out of the shower to see who it is.
Yeah, full uniform, waiting pretty impatiently.
So Hannah sighs, takes a towel and steps out of the shower.
What did they ask?
They were very unspecific. They assume that there's a mole, but I think just want me to give up someone.
Are they targeting anyone specifically?
When I name a name now, what will happen to them?
I guess it depends on the name. If it's someone that we think is actually might be a problem, we of course cooperate. But I don't think that's what Uslov is planning.
So out of character, it was definitely wasn't it practically everyone except Ira?
Plus Petrova and Lobodeva, the chief of staff.
Yeah. Yeah, Anna says, among others. And she looks at Olga. It's you and title, Captain Lobodeva.
The two officers just look at each other. Briefing's in 15. We need you tonight. We'll talk more about this after the mission. Hey, Dasha and Ira, you guys get woken up by a ton of chatter about Hannah being back. And there's all sorts of rumors going around about who Hannah threw under the bus. They look at you and then they like go really quiet. And then they like literally it's the chat, like stare, quiet, and then skulk out of the room.
Well, that's not a good sign. So they've all skulked out of the room.
The
Nobody to
people
be
who are
like-
gossiping.
So is anybody still there?
It's kind of one of those things where when, even though like there were other people doing their own thing, you know, when that pair was overheard and very obviously by you, they're like, everyone just shut up and is like trying to get away from the super awkward situation.
Great. Yeah, I just find the nearest person. I like. So I hear Hannah's back.
Yeah, apparently she showed up right at wake up.
Is she okay?
Masha wouldn't let us get near her.
Okay, good. Masha's with her then. That's good. I mean, did she look okay?
I couldn't get close to her. I mean, her uniform looked out of sorts. I don't know what the NKVD did to her. I mean, look, those guys scare the shit out of me. I mean,
Yeah.
especially like, what the fuck did they do to Rudina?
A lot.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm sure they got Hannah to talk because, I mean, look, from what I could tell, you know, it looked like a rough time, but they didn't like do the like week long whatever fuck up session they did to Valentina. So, I mean, doesn't that mean Hannah gave them something?
What would she give them?
Oh no.
Hannah's smart. Look, she probably, I don't know, she probably had some way to get them off her back, but I don't know what she'd tell them about who to. I don't.
I mean,
I don't think Hannah would.
I mean, the rumor is she's always trying to throw people to the NKVD.
I've never heard of her doing anything like that. I think that's just a rumor.
I mean, doesn't she call people out during during debriefs?
She calls people out. She calls people out directly. She doesn't go to the NKVD about them.
She was already there. I don't know. You know her better than I do. In fact, I think at this point I don't want to know her any closer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, fine. And I will go look for Masha.
If I was listening to the beginning of that conversation, I think I left to go try to find Masha while you continue to talk. So you might catch
Sure.
up with me.
So Masha, did you actually go back to the kitchen to find something to do?
Yeah. So I think I am, at the sink, scrubbing away at yesterday's pots. And I think when Ira finds her, she's like concentrating on this really hard piece of, burnt in food or whatever, but she is, I think she's crying over the sink.
Masha,
Ira, yeah, I'm still here. There's always pots to be done, right? You probably heard Hannah is back and safe.
they said you were with her, that you were...
I saw her come into camp, so I went over to see if she was okay, and then I tried to get her cleaned up without having to deal with, the vultures, the gossip mongers. And then Petrova showed up and sent me back to the kitchen.
Do you think she... What do you think she told them?
I don't think she told him anything.
You think we could...
Yeah, she didn't say anything, but I just don't think she told him anything. She doesn't look like someone who's sold out her friends. I'm just glad she's okay.
I don't know that we are her friends. I don't know that we can trust her. She told me directly that she doesn't care about us.
Is that not what a commanding officer says to her people to get them to be self-reliant? I mean, like, me, I don't think I had a kind word to say about her until yesterday. But yesterday, I think everything changed. Look, you're probably right. I'm just happy she's back and I can't explain it. Logically, you would think I would have had nothing to do with her.
I think you're right. I think yesterday everything changed, but I don't know.
You don't think for the better?
I don't know. I don't know which side Hannah's really on. But just be careful with her.
Okay.
I think this is about when Dasha shows up.
Yeah, and here's the fun thing. Dasha completely trusts Hannah.
So do you think Dasha overhears any of that conversation or just gets the tail end?
Just the tail end, I think.
Okay.
Hey, Masha. I know you probably didn't get a chance to talk to her much, but is Hannah okay?
Yeah, I think she's okay.
I was worried the same. I was worried they'd do the same thing they did to Erudina.
Well, I guess we just have to see, you know. I think we got to keep an eye on Hannah to see how she's feeling. I don't know what they take off you in those rooms.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure she's okay tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish. Do you think she's even safe to fly? Can
just try to stop her, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem, isn't it? She outranks all of us.
Okay, let's put it this way. Command are not going to let her not fly because that's counter-revolutionary. Why are you trying to harm our war efforts, comrade, by grounding or your commanding officer of Section C?
Right.
We're fucked either way, right?
I guess I could look at her and see how hurt she is, if she would let me.
Yeah, I think that.
Ira's not enthusiastic about it, but.
Sorry, David. Should I make a roll there to reach out to Ira?
Yes.
Okay.
I missed the opportunity to call for that role, but I think you revealing that you now trust Hannah is totally adding new information, and really feels like a reach out.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to stick with these purple dice and roll them again. Okay, that's a 6, but I think it's a 7 because I trust Ira the most. That's my tie. So I get a +1 on rolls when it's okay. So that's a 7.
That does bump it up to a partial success. So would you like to remove 1 harm from each from you and Ira? Would you like to change the target or tone of a currently filled or guard spot, or would you like to add to the mission pool?
Is Ira currently hurt?
Does not look that way.
Okay. I will just add 1 to the mission pool, so.
Okay.
I guess I am to cut back to the fiction. I think, Masha thinks it's probably a good idea if you take a look at Hannah, but don't expect her to be a willing patient. I asked her if she was fine, and she said she was fine.
Around this time, let's see. Sergeant, Senior Lieutenant Petrova, so not your section commander, but person above Petrova. She's the logistics and training officer. Comes and she says, "We're mission starting early tonight. It's a longer briefing. Make sure you eat up. We'll be calling everyone in a half hour. Squad commanders have already been called into their briefing." So Hannah, you are fresh out of the shower, which was a pretty big rush job, and you, I assume, are heading basically right to the logistics tent, correct?
Yeah, she would try to at least make her eyes a little bit, like not as in a makeup, but to camouflage that she had cried.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe grab a coffee on the way to the mission briefing.
Yeah, so you get actually intercepted before you get your coffee by Valentina. She comes right up to you and just wraps her arms around you and is crying on your shoulder.
Ohana stiffens and tries to gently push her away.
Yeah, she's trembling, holding you.
I how do you call it? Shush her. Like, come on, it's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry.
She's kind of muttering, what did they do to you?" As she's like crying very noticeably.
Nothing. They cannot touch me.
No, you can't say that. They're monsters.
They are monsters, and they are deluded, and they are misguided, and they're part of the machine, and they can touch me. Don't worry.
Yeah. I think Valentina is breaking down here and is starting to like scream at you. Like, it's pretty nonsensical, but it's like she's going back and forth calling you a liar, like assuming you sold someone out, going back and saying what makes you so special that you're protected.
Before she does that, I hit her with my open hand. And the intent is to calm her down like a hysterical person.
Yeah,
in the only way she knows.
This is definitely an acting up. Are you doing it very rigidly and professionally, like kind of surgically, as if you were a natural born Soviet era woman, or are you just flat out hitting her like a hooligan?
No. I want to. Yeah, this is not to to hurt her. That is to snap her out of her state. So medals. I mean, officially, I don't have a medal. Last time I picked medal as my advancement.
You can roll as if you have the medal, even though it has not been officially awarded to you.
I take the purple ones as well. They seem to bring luck. Wow, that is a 12.
Nice. So you get to choose 2.
Obviously, I want to add 1 to the mission pool because we desperately need points. And then I want her to not behave like a lunatic. I want her to calm down. And if the consequence is that she is afraid of me or something, or distrusts me or something, that would be okay.
Okay. So you shut her up. Are you going to say something after that? Because it's like she's there and stunned. She's kind of cowering at this point.
Yeah, I say, what's the title? She's a senior lieutenant as well.
Junior lieutenant. You both are the same rank.
And I say, Junior Lieutenant Arudina, get a grip of yourself and act like a soldier.
She, tears still in her eyes, she just she mutters something like, "You're one of them, aren't you?" And then just like turns and runs. Do you go to the briefing now?
Yeah. By the way, do we have, like, I have a mark from last time that we haven't resolved.
Oh, yes. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. What
Are
did you
they-
choose for your mark?
I chose, let's see, tell a story of home.
Okay.
But I mean, fictionally, we hadn't have time. We haven't had
Right.
time.
We'll probably have time after the mission. Marks don't have to. Marks are pretty flexible on when they can actually occur, as long as they happen. I mean, last session you didn't really have any opportunities. Ideally, they happen the session you get them, but you can fudge them pretty easily. So yeah, you make it to the section commander meeting, and this is pretty much every section's or every squad's leader is here, like the last session or the last mission.
Is Arudina there?
What was that?
Is Arudina also there?
No, she's actually not a section leader. The first session, you and her were in contention for the position, and her stint with the NKVD basically meant that you received it. And, they were thinking of maybe giving her a section upon her return, but she is in no condition for that. So it's time for the big push. This mission will, one way or another, determine will change the landscape of this part of the front line. There's a big push from our infantry, from our tanks, from basically every division. In order to do our part, we are going to do intense bombing of their supply depots. This was the mission that we were supposed to do last night, but last night. But things changed. So this is not going to be an easy one. We need the best. You're going to be going across from the Kuban area around Staroblisk and Tegra Nurag, Kubis and the Tegranov Kubishev line. There are going to be a lot of patrol planes out there. So be careful. Normally I say do everything you can to bring your squad home alive. Tonight might be the exception. If we don't take out those depots, then our men on the ground are going to be severely hampered. Make the judgments that you think are right. And then they call everyone in for the briefing. Before Hannah assigns the planes, Petrova interrupts you from starting. Says, Junior Lieutenant Hannah Rutman, we have some official business to take care of before you can commence with tonight's mission. For your successful operation of a plane shot down behind enemy lines, keeping your co-pilot safe, and returning military equipment in the best condition possible, maintaining the honor and integrity of the squadron, and demonstrating dedication, perseverance, and ingenuity in the face of adversity. We are awarding you the Medal of Battle Merit. And she pins the medal right on your uniform, which isn't looking so great. But if you want to take a look at the Night Witches playbook PDF on page 8, it is that circular medal with the gray ribbon on the left.
That'll do.
Now to business. Hannah, assign the planes.
So let's do this a little bit out of character first. I think that the last combination was pretty much spot on. Masha wouldn't get to fly, but there's no way that Hannah's not flying, obviously.
Does Masha still have the machine gun?
Oh, that's a good question.
I believe that machine gun was
so.
on loan.
Yeah.
And you did go on the date.
Yeah, they were supposed to come back and pick it up, so I guess the timing is up to you on that. I had assumed that we didn't have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that it was taken care of during the whole affair, which is actually more accurate.
So would you say Ira and Dasha are flying? Ira, obviously, the humpback, and Hannah in the cursed plane.
Sounds good. And while we're out of character, there's on anything where the consequences is another plane takes damage, feel free to point that at me. I have a move that says I don't have to roll for wheels down, I just do it.
I believe that's when you wheels down in a new location.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in that case, I guess it's not the same.
It's nice if you're getting shot down.
Right, yeah.
Just
when
make sure
you can still aim it at me because I have kind of a double wheels down advantage.
Also, you
so
like getting shot down. You've
Yeah,
already
you know.
triggered it.
That's true.
I'm trying to remember why you triggered it, but I do remember that you triggered it.
So if Masha does the scouting, does that mean that Dasha and Ira act as Vedomaya?
You basically get to assign one of the pilots still to be the attack run, so you can choose Dasha or you can choose Ira to lead the attack run, and then everyone else is Vedomaya.
Yeah, Hannah would probably. I mean, yeah, she would lead the attack run.
You said Hannah was leading the attack run?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are having the Wayfinder and the attack run in the same plane, and then everyone else is flying wing.
Yep.
Okay. That sounds good. Fly the mission.
Yeah, I would. When we walk to the planes, I would tell them, like, we're walking, and Hannah says, the brass told me that the goal of the mission is not necessarily that we all come back alive. So we are here to win a war. And I hope you all understand that this is our mission.
That's always our mission. to win the war, or to help win the war, right?
I mean, if you need to talk to someone, or I don't know, make your last arrangements, or if you want to pray or something, that might be the right time. And then she gets in her plane.
Hey, Ira, there is someone waiting for you at your plane.
Oh.
It's mangy, has ugly fur.
I mean, less so. I think I gave it a bath at one point. Is it in the plane or just at the plane?
It's right at the ladder waiting for you.
All right, out of the way. You're only good for sleeping in there, not flying it.
It's not wanting to move. Kind of gives a whine.
I don't have any food. Come on, get out of here. I guess if it's not going to move, I'll eyeball it, see if I can figure out how to get him. There we go. 12?
You get 2 hold to ask questions.
Well, am I overlooking anything? What am I overlooking?
Yeah, you're overlooking that this dog is actually really loyal.
And how can I get him to let me fly this plane tonight?
Might have to take him with you.
Really? I was much more okay with shooting it than getting it killed on a mission.
I mean, shooting it would work.
Is there actually room to take it with?
It could sit on someone's lap.
All right. If it'd rather be shot by Germans than by me.
Yes. And to answer that question, I have just been calling it dog. So. Yes, it is against your regulations. So let's fly the mission. I believe Masha starts by rolling her wayfinding.
Yep. I'm going to stick with these purple dice, see what they have. Oh. I can. What's the mission pool? You used up all my luck on those Horst, with your 11. So that is a 4. And what's our mission pool? It's pretty healthy. It's 6. So I guess I will burn 3 to bring it to a 7.
Bring it to a 7. Okay. Choose two consequences.
Phew.
Yep, that's why this
yep.
is rough. Is
Yeah, well, that's Snake Eyes for you, right?
Yeah.
So let me think. I think we are stressed or banged around, even though that's pretty bad for
I have 2 harm. I don't know.
Yeah.
As your wingman, I will take that on the.
Nice use of Vedamaya.
Okay, so I'll take that one, and then you, Ira takes the one for Hana, right?
Well, I take the consequence, and the consequence is 2 harm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think Ira takes the whole 2 harm.
Okay. And then I think the second one has got to be the plane suffers a minor mechanical failure.
Okay.
Because while enemy fire worked out for us last time, this time we are still picking an additional consequence. So 7 to 9 is pretty shit.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going into the list of why planes get fucked. So you you're flying the cursed plane. That's why everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you're so Hannah's flying the lead and you're navigating. And what happens is your engine stalls. It just keeps stalling, and that's like going boom, 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 and it causes a near miss with a humpback. Humpback being kind of wild and already doing that. So your wings actually clip each other. Yours stabilizes, but Ira's goes down into a spin, and Ira has to basically pull up. And that stress and getting banged around is how Ira gets the 2 stress. In addition, you're playing, it definitely damaged your wing, your engine is fucked up. So that plane is now damaged.
I can only take Vedamaya move once, right, per mission?
Yes.
Trying to decide if I want to take that or save some for the attack run.
I think if you want to do it another time, you have to tempt fate.
Well, I mean, tempt fate basically does a lot of shit.
Right.
But it's a damaged plane at this point, so you taking the consequence would just mean your plane is damaged instead of the cursed plane.
Right. I mean, I have this whole to spend. So yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. So instead of the collision happening between Hannah's plane and Ira's, what happens is the stall freaks both of you guys out, and you collide into each other. Hannah, you're able to pull. I'm sorry, Josh, you're able to pull up pretty easily because you are a hotshot pilot. But your wing is fucked up. Whereas Ira does go into that tailspin and gets jostled around. And then we have an attack run.
Yep. So let's see. It's guts, isn't it? So I'm using the purple dice again. is an 8. But if you're all okay, I happily spent 2 mission points to bump it up to 10. By the way, how did we get 6 mission points? That's crazy.
You guys got quite a lot from last session.
That reach out move.
You reached out a lot. You acted up a lot. You with the NKVD, you with Yellowtail. Like almost every single time you guys took mission pool. As a matter of fact, I remember you hitting Yellow, like you swearing at Yellowtail really like, yes, really hit the morale heavy. So no consequences on the attack run. You still have a mission pool left though. This is a great opportunity. Like, do some extra damage. I mean, this is the big mission, right? Who wants to tempt fate and really push this heavier?
We still have to land our plane, right, Hannah? You still have to land the plane.
No,
plane's
just
fine.
gonna have to
or sorry, Dasha has to land the plane. So
I'd say we gave those Nazis hellfire.
Yes.
So I don't know. It looks like maybe the other planes turn around and Hannah goes for a last bombing run.
Well, I think I've got a good opportunity for you. Yeah. So this was a big offensive, and basically on one of your runs, you are kind of intersecting with a patrol from the 586 fighter unit, and basically you see the 586 on one of your runs back. Basically, they've got a bunch of Germans on their tails. They want to get back at you at the Russians for what happened to Yellowtail. So here's a golden opportunity. You could fly some interference so that the 586 can shoot down these German patrols.
That sounds risky.
Yes, it does. But, oh, by the way, Masha, don't you know someone in the 586?
Yeah, my friend Evgenia, she's recently got her ace status by shooting down 5 of them. So I'm 4 behind, right?
Well, I mean, if you save her bacon, that will really get you noticed.
That is true.
So I think Hannah is like shouting over the wind and everything. Let's interfere, expecting Masha to, I don't know, to try to convince her not to do it.
Yeah, I think Masha is going, we've dropped all our bombs, let's get home. But I think, I don't know, do you mishear me? And you hear this really gung-ho sounding Masha.
Let's get them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think that probably between planes we communicate with hand gestures or something. There must be some way to communicate.
Yeah, I think it's mostly posturing while flying, but there's probably some hand signals like run, probably like run again, wheels down. Very common phrases. There's probably nothing of fly interference, but you might be able to signal we're doing something.
Yeah, I'm signaling go home, we'll catch up later or something.
Oh, you're doing this on your own.
Obviously. I mean, I promised what's his name, Merova, not to like willfully risk Dasha's life.
Hey, Dasha.
What about
That
me?
is-
What am I? Minced meat, sir?
There was no one.
Hey, Dasha. Hannah's about to try something. Something probably risky, because you see there's the 588, the 586,
Yeah.
and she's telling you to go home without her.
Yeah, I don't buy it. I'm gonna stay with her.
Ira, how about you?
Hmm. This is not how I thought Hannah was going to get Masha killed. I think I was going to go ahead and head home, but then as Dasha turns to follow, I'm like, God, fuck. Okay, and I also swerve and follow.
Okay, well, I'm going to make Horst make the first Tempt Fate maneuver, and we're going to see how that goes. And I'm going to let you see how that goes, and then position the fictioning for your own Tempt Fates as we go from there. Because I think even just being here is risky, but we'll use the fictioning angling and do it like one after another to kind of get the chain of the narrative here.
Though I'm glad to see we're hitting the air combat tropes really hard. You know, the rogue pilot goes off on a terrible mission, and her wingmen just pop up on either side right before she makes this attack run. You know, that's strong movie tropes.
Except you're going about 30 miles an hour while doing this.
Yeah, it's less Top Gun.
So, Horst, I don't know if you heard what the plan was mechanically.
No, I'm sorry.
So, both the other planes have decided to follow your lead. So, you're going to make the first Tempt Fate. Every plane's going to have to Tempt Fate on this because it's risky no matter what you're doing. But I'm going to let the planes chain their Tempt Fates so that you get to choose the fictional. Like, so for instance, if you fuck up Tempt Fate and someone is tempting fate to try to save your ass, that's their Tempt Fate roll. Whereas if you succeed, their Tempt Fate roll is probably going to be something like add to that success. Oh, perfect. I just noticed that Bethany dropped out and made it back in. So let's start with Horst. And Horst's, I'm sorry, Hannah's going rogue maneuver.
That is a 5. So let's see.
Is it a 5?
Well, it could be. I think there's Sophia interfering again. So what's happening? What is the fail? What would happen?
Yeah. So you basically fly up and interfere with a you actually come right up behind right behind the flying bride. You saw the news article about her, and you recognize the dress that she hangs from the back of her plane. Basically making the German pilot pull up and break off their pursuit, which means that they have a new target, you. Now, their planes are a lot quicker, which makes it hard to target, but they actually do this weird maneuver where they fly up and are coming down at an angle to give them extra time to aim at you. And you hear the machine guns fire, and things black out. And you are in a tent. This is back at camp. You hear the familiar sounds. And Major Usilov is showing you a letter, and there's tears in your eyes, and you know that your brother has betrayed the cause. And Usilov just leans over, goes, "So, my dear, how does it feel to be a traitor?" And the realization that your brother's actions has now transferred onto you. And you beg, "This isn't me. I have nothing to do with this. I am loyal to the cause." And Usilov takes out his pistol. And in a panic, you run. You run through that wheat field. And you feel the sting in your shoulder. And you fall to the dirt. And you're just crying as you hear the rustling of his steps getting closer and closer and closer until that last pop and everything goes black. That German plane just crashed. You don't know where those bullets went. You don't know what happened, but you feel that bullet entering the back of your head. Oh my God, Dasha, that was the most incredible flying you've ever seen. That German pilot had Hannah dead to rights. Absolutely. It was a perfect plan. And the plane Hannah's plane just does this barrel roll maneuver, and you swear Hannah's going to crash. But somehow it just bobs right up out of the barrel roll, barely skimming the ground. And something happens to that pilot. He is flying frantically, and he is trying to pull up and basically skims his wing on the ground and does the roll over into a fiery mess. You don't know where Hannah learned that maneuver. You don't know how that German pilot fucked up so bad. But it was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I was racking my brain trying to think, okay, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do to help? And then, hey, wow. I have no fucking idea what just happened. So I kind of pull up and move out of the line where I was going to try to distract that pilot away from Hannah. And what happens next?
Well, while you were distracted, you got your own pair of German pilots on you. Now, they're not trying that maneuver their buddy just did. They're trying to figure out how to line up behind you, but they keep on making runs trying to get you into their crosshairs. And one of these times, they're just going to line up a lucky shot, or they're going to collide with you.
Right.
So you got to get these guys off your tail.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go as close to the ground as I dare, as slow as I dare. I want them to either stall and have no time to save themselves, or have to pull up and go over me.
Okay. Hey, and you're in the lazy plane. This is the plane to do that with. So go ahead and roll your tempt fate.
Okay. That is a 9.
Do you want to use the last mission pool to make it a 10?
Let me see these tempt fate options. Or is it? It's not a list of options, is it?
If it's a 7 through 9, you do it, but not without a cost. I offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice.
Did you roll a 9, Bethany?
I rolled a 9.
Okay, because
it's plus luck, right?
I
Oh,
think
if it's
on-
guts, then in that case I have an 11. It's good.
Oh, you're good. So yeah, you do this maneuver where you're actually skimming the ground and they're trying to follow you, and you do this really deft thing where you actually land. He goes smack into the ground. You just turn to the left and take him back off again. The Germans are like, fuck that. We're not going to try to shoot this person down. Like,
Too crazy for the Germans to follow.
Ira, you have your dog on your lap. There's Germans all over the fucking place. You just saw Hannah and Dasha pull the craziest shit in the world, but you're in the middle of a firefight. Like seriously, the humpback is just like jolting in and out of people's lines of fire. They're not even trying to target you. You just have to get out of this mess alive. Meanwhile, your dog is freaking out with all this gunfire. It is loud. It is scary. Roll. What are you going to do to try to survive this situation? Are you going to try to? Are you going to try to, just try to get out if you're alive? Or are you going to try to give the 186 an upper hand?
I think if I was following behind, I was probably following Dasha. So when she went down and they were above, I think I kind of came in to kind of block their path even more, so that when they were
okay, you're going to run some interference for Dasha as well.
So that there were a few of them following her, right? So like
right,
so that they just have to so she was there, they were coming in above, and I'm coming in, to kind of block them so that they're, I'll probably get hit. We'll see. Yeah, not good. That's what is this, guts?
Yes.
I think I'm a -1, so yeah, that's like a 4.
Ouch. Yeah, so you run interference. The thing about the German planes is they're so fast that they don't have like they're so much faster than you relatively that they don't have a chance to react to your stuff. So their plane actually smacks into your plane. I am going to say I'm going to say casualties on board. Split 5 harm between you and who was in your plane? You and Valentina. Oh man, she's having a rough time. And obviously your plane's going to be damaged because, how is it not?
Well, I'm already at 2 harm. So
I mean, you can basically have it pile a bunch of harm onto Valentina.
yeah, what's the hold on. What's the
Is this something that a Vetamaya move could be used on, or
Yes, except you
Sorry, wait,
both have
how-
used your hold.
Right.
I will let people tempt fate to take some of the harm away from that plane.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll work out how that fiction looks based on the success.
Okay.
Is someone going
So-
to attempt that?
Yeah, I'm rolling right now. I'd like to think I just rolled a 10, but I think it just didn't roll. Okay. That's a 7 plus guts, it's a 9.
Um,
And there's still one in the mission pool. Right?
If this will let me not have Ira get killed, yeah, I'll take that mission.
well, I was going to offer you a hard bargain, but making it a 10 means that, yes, you get to decide how much harm your plane takes. And any harm that is taken from your plane is taken away from Ira's plane.
I am harm-free at the moment. I don't know who I have in my plane. Who is navigating?
You have Karudina.
Okay.
Right.
I'll take all that harm.
All 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and split it. Well, actually, wait. I'll take 4
and
split it
okay.
2 and 2.
So what happens is the German plane. So you're doing that weird landing maneuver. The German plane, the second plane on your tail, one of them crashes in front of you. The other one gets intercepted by Humpback. Humpback nicks the plane, giving it a jolt, and we'll see how Ira associates the harm. But the second plane basically crashes so close to yours that shrapnel flies and basically bits of metal and debris, their ammunitions go off and random bullets, metal scraps, everything is just flying all over the place, tearing up you and Valentina. I'm sorry, Grudina is in your plane. So how are you splitting that harm?
2 and 2.
2 and 2?
Yeah.
Prudina swears that you are a fucking mad woman. You are a lunatic, and she's never flying with you again.
That's completely fair.
Are there any more heroics after this?
The dog is definitely alive in the cockpit.
I think the last part of the mission is, I think Dasha and Ira are going to have to roll wheels down because of the damaged planes and the injuries. I could make Hannah do it because she is so damn sleep deprived, but I'm not going to be that harsh on you guys. But the damaged planes definitely are going to be more difficult to land because both of you have fucked up wings. Now, Dasha, you actually have an interesting choice.
Wait, what interesting choice do I have? Where?
You have a move that says if you land somewhere new, so if you don't actually land your plane where you're supposed to.
Yeah, you know?
Totally land at the 286th airfield, right? You're one of them now.
Oh,
that is an interesting, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm following them. I'm trying to help them out. So that would make the most sense. I probably land at there, or just like in a field not too far from our base, but like can't make it back all the way.
Which do you think's more interesting?
I think I'm gonna go with the second one. I think I'm just gonna like, yeah, can't make it. Because Hannah's the one who's actually trying to protect them. I was just trying to protect Hannah, really. So I guess it would make more sense for me to, yeah, I just like don't quite make it all the way back to the base and land in a field nearby, maybe.
Yeah, you're probably like what, a mile away?
Yeah, something like that. Make it most of the way back, not behind enemy lines.
Yeah, you kind of notice that the plane is just constantly curving to the left because of the damaged wing, and you're just like, if I try to land on a straight landing strip, I'll go right into those hay bales.
Right. Yeah, and we see what happens when that happens. So, yeah.
Ira, you do not have that move, so you're going to have to roll a wheels down. I assume you're going to try to do it at base?
Yes. Nine.
Okay, on a 9, choose, well, 3 consequences because of this mission. Man, that is brutal.
Oof. Okay, so we took 1 more harm already. So I'll say that's on Valentina. So this is so I'm at 2. So I guess I would take 1 more harm and Valentina would take 2 more, so that we're both at 3 harm.
Both getting hospitalized.
My lack of skill, courage, or care is noted.
Oh, it's noted.
And I guess we're in immediate danger because I can't let Humpback die. It's not an option.
The dog. No, of course not. Ira wants the dog to die.
Does she?
So you land the plane and yeah, what you don't notice was your fuel tank developed a microfracture. So you weren't losing that much fuel, but it was spraying fuel into the cockpit the whole time. You land okay with a jolt, but as you're getting out, the fumes start catching fire, and you're dosed with this. So it's a big fireball in the cockpit, and both you and Valentina are on fire, which is how you're getting the additional harm. I think somebody has to put you out. Hannah probably landed first.
Yeah, I think Hannah jumps out and runs to the plane, obviously.
With a sand bucket or something like this. Something to put out the petrol fumes flame, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the immediate concern is the 2 people running out of the plane on fire. Hannah, how are you going to try to put them out?
Mm, I mean, do we have like blankets in the? I mean, it's super cold in the plane, I would assume.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can have like a blanket in your emergency kit.
Yeah. So I jump on Ira and wrap the blanket over her.
Okay, roll attempt fate.
So for once, that is a 6. It stays a 6.
Can I jump in and try to, maybe throw a bucket of water or something over both of them?
Yeah, roll attempt fate as well,
Okay.
Masha.
That is an 8.
You can, if you want to stop Ira and Ira and Hannah from getting harmed any further, you'll have to completely ignore Valentina.
And do I have an option of doing Ira and Valentina, or is it?
You're essentially going to
choose
do
these
2 dies here.
Okay, yeah. I guess I will. Maybe I'm just saying something like Hannah went straight to Ira because she got out first, and so they're together. And I have one bucket of water, and I can get. This is how I'm rationalizing it. Maybe I have one bucket of water, and I'm getting them both in the same go. And when I rush back to the pump to get another bucket to go for Valia, she's dead or beyond help.
Yeah, it's she's burned to her, burned to death. So, I am going to I think this is a good point to take our bio break, about 5 minutes. Let me think of what the fallout, good and bad, about your heroics. And yeah, so let's be back at after. Awesome.
Okay, I made a terrible mistake.
Mhm.
Hannah is out to kill us all. Am I the only sensible woman in this section?
Oh, come on. That was fantastic.
That was fantastic.
I mean, you only got a very damaged person killed and basically got a bunch of Germans to crash their planes.
Yeah. This is not how the previous character I played on a game on the Eastern Front survived the war. Taking unnecessary risks.
Hey, taking unnecessary risks are a terrible way of surviving a war.
Yeah,
A great way of getting famous in a war.
this is true.
I think to help, I was thinking of what the Fallout is going to look, and I think one thing that will help me decide that is you all actually get an advance from succeeding on this mission. Actually participating on this mission. So why don't you pick your advances, and then we'll play kind of the aftermath and go over the wrap up of this base, because there's no other missions. We're not going to be building a mission pool for the next mission. You can roll things if they're necessary, but it's probably, you can do it if you want. It'll be like a do it if you want, but I think it's more
mission pool is the
There's no mission pool. You're all going to be in full harm if we start, when we do session 2 or season 2. So really nothing's at stake, unless like maybe acting out to get people to do things. But yeah.
So what are our options concerning advancements?
They are on the playbook document. The character keeper does track it, but it's a little easier to kind of, I think, have an idea of what they mean by reading it off of the playbook one. It's on the second page next to marks. So there's harsh lessons, which lets you take a new move. There's deepening ties, which lets you open up a new regard slot. There's personal growth, which lets you increase one of the basic skills. There's honor and pride, which gives you another medal and then gives you the +1 to the medal slot. There's added responsibility that increases your rank. And there's moving west, which don't pick that.
I mean, I think I'm going to pick a medal, which is probably for shooting down Yellowtail, or maybe leading the attack run in the previous mission, which was really
the one that went perfectly.
The one that went perfectly, yeah. So I guess I don't know. It might make more sense to take the one that's furthest back in time, because bureaucusy is slow.
Yeah. Take the medal. I'll assign what it's for, because you don't get pilots don't get to choose why they're awarded medals. Does anyone else have any thoughts of what they want to take?
What's the next rank?
I believe you go from junior lieutenant to lieutenant. Just double checking that one. I'm pretty sure it goes junior lieutenant, lieutenant, and senior lieutenant.
Yeah.
The description of a lieutenant. A lieutenant is an officer who has been promoted after demonstrating general competence and potential to lead. A lieutenant, ideally, a lieutenant, ideally one who has been decorated, may be chosen to serve as the section leader for a 3-plane section. Section leaders choose their lead navy, yada, yada, yada. You already know that. So basically, junior lieutenants, can I don't know. Maybe I should have been having you be section leader, but I was, because it makes the game more fun when we have a character choose that. That's going to really cement you in that role. Also, fiction.
We just killed your main rival.
I think she took herself out of the rivalry long ago.
Yeah, I think it would fit Hannah's personality to go either for a medal or for a higher rank.
I definitely think it wouldn't mess with Ira's head for her to be increased in rank, which makes it tempting.
Dasha, did you have any thoughts?
I think it would make the most sense fictionally to either add a point to skill or open a regard slot, and I'm not sure which I want to do. I have never actually used regard slots, even though now that I think of it, there's at least like 2 or 3 times that I should have. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a point in skill.
I kept trying to put Ira in your plane.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it ended up being a 10 anyway, but I actually could have used that this past.
Oh yeah, you did. You did roll to save Ira.
Yeah.
Ira. I forgot about checking regard. But yeah,
I'll add one to skill.
Regard is really good if you're in the plane that you have regard for, or the person you have regard for is in your plane.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It helps a lot.
It's you use it for reach out moves too, right?
Yes, it's anytime you roll with that for on behalf of that person or with that or against that person.
Okay, cool. Well,
and
theoretically, I could use it a lot, but like I said, I haven't so far. So
okay,
yeah.
So you are just getting to be a better pilot. Hannah, you were going up in rank?
Yeah.
So you are a lieutenant now. Ira, were you also going up a rank?
Sure.
And Masha was. You told me what you were doing. You were taking a medal. That's right.
Medals, yeah.
Okay. So Ira is rushed to the infirmary after being on fire. Hannah, not doing so great. You've got some minor burns, but honestly, you felt like shit anyways. Dasha, you have to walk back to camp and have someone tow the plane in, which which basically Morova can't decide why she's pissed off at you, whether it's for taking stupid risks or for leaving one of her planes damaged in a fucking week.
Right. Yes.
People are the next day. People are scrambling to try to get planes still in the air to continue bombing these depots, but your squad has basically been has effectively been grounded because there's not really planes to fly. There's not people. Everyone's pretty injured. They even have to loan out the cursed plane to make these additional tack runs. But things seem to be going well. News is trickling in of one successful advance after another. And everyone is pissed at how reckless your squad was, because you came back with 2 damaged planes, a person hospitalized yet again, a plane out in the wheat fields, and you killed one of your compatriots. In addition, Ira, you're hearing rumors that Hannah is a spy for the NKVD. Flat out. Not even, hey, she's it's not even like she's in the NKVD's pocket. No, she was a plant from the NKVD. And Hannah, people have been talking to you less than normal. So I'm going to let people decide what they're doing in these next couple of days.
Yeah, Hannah wants to speak to the regimental politruk, Captain Bazukova.
Yes. So yeah, you go to her office during the day, because she's usually there. She's like, yes, Junior Lieutenant Rutaman, please have a seat.
Captain, I'm a bit concerned about the lack of political education at the base, and I would like to hold some lectures. Can I ask you for support? I want to put out some posters.
I mean, we don't have any budgeted materials, and the girls' schedules are already pretty packed tight. Honestly, you couldn't have chosen a worse time. We are this offensive is been taking up everyone's time. I mean, I'm not going to stop you from doing that. At the same time, we don't have room in the schedule to basically provide time for people to attend. If you want to hold it during free time, it's going to be up to people it's going to be up to individuals to decide to attend. But
I think it would reflect poorly on those individuals not finding the time.
Hannah, what is this actually about?
I want to read if she is, like, when she says, what is this actually about? Is that her, is she like honestly puzzled by someone, or could that be a trap? Like, is she?
Go ahead and roll it in. You can ask the questions from there.
At the 7, and then plus skill, so it's an 8. Yeah, it's an 8.
Okay, so you get to ask a question.
What does she want?
She wants to remain on good terms with the NKVD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what Hannah says. We have them, on our. They are. They're trying to smear us. They're trying to stifle us and stymie us. And if we can show them that that we're online with party ideology, then I can work with that. We shouldn't give them any indication, any reason to do what they do best, which is, cause chaos.
She opens up her desk and pulls out a bottle of vodka and pours you each a glass. Had a rough time with them when they interviewed you, huh?
It was rough, but they didn't break me, and they won't. If we work together, we can go through this. And she leans forward and says, they're eyeing Olga.
I think you look, the issue with them is if they want, you think that they necessarily operate completely on principle. If you show that you are a loyal soldier in the Soviet army, they then try to prove that you're an incompetent one. If you show that if you spend all the time making sure you do everything you need to succeed, then you don't have the time to show that you are loyal. It is not a matter of being able to just show taking away their ammunition. They'll find something. The trick is not letting them want to. You say that they have their eye on Petrova?
Among others.
Who else?
The chief of staff. That's from the brass. And then a couple of soldiers.
Which ones?
Can I eyeball her again? What will she do with the information is my question, would be my question.
Are you rolling it?
Yeah. That's 10.
10. So you get to ask 2 questions. I think what would she do with the information is close enough to those questions. She's not entirely sure what she'll do with it, but she definitely does not have any particular intentions of protecting people. Her intention is to give the NKVD enough to make them go away.
Do I know that the NKVD is after Ira because of her, what is it, sister, brother?
Nobody knows that yet. That's not one of your questions. That was just hey, what was the game state?
Hannah says nothing.
You don't want to use your second question?
Oh, I'm sorry. So that question was, what does she want, I guess. What about overlooking?
If you use Barsukova to take out Petrova, you might be setting yourself up to eventually replace Petrova. So you could potentially advance pretty high into the leadership if you get people to fall in the right order at the right times.
I mean, Hannah is ambitious, but she's more like a true believer than a career person, I think. And that doesn't ring like that wouldn't make sense for her. So Hannah sighs and says, I don't know. I'm not telling you any other names. That's the 2 they're interested in.
I was hoping to have a smaller scapegoat that we could use. Thank you. I'll think about what to do from here. If you do hear of anything that would be relevant to our glorious union, please let me know.
And if you find paper somewhere and maybe a pen, I'd be very thankful.
She nods. She does. Before you go, she does, give you a paper endorsing you for leading demonstrations, as long as it follows, the strict guidelines. Ira, you are in the hospital. Who visits you?
I will.
Where's my dog?
It's fine.
They are letting the dog stay in the infirmary for now. They're too busy to not do it, and they're like, "Look, we can, they're not worried about you getting infected, and as long as they're kind of keeping you sectioned off, they're just gonna let they don't have the energy to prevent it at this point. I'm getting a lot of background noise. Okay.
Is that from me?
I think it was. It wasn't the talking that was an issue. It was like literally just like white noise that was getting very deafening.
Do you hear it right now or no?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Were other people not getting that?
I heard something there, yeah, just for a moment.
I was hearing it, but it kind of sounded like, I don't know, traffic far away or something like that.
There's a fan in the back I could go turn down, but it's not happening right now.
Yeah, now I'm hearing it again. Is the fan by any chance like oscillating?
No, but I'll go turn it down.
Sorry about that. It was like it was actually getting pretty loud at times.
Oh, I didn't hear it at all that second time. I don't think it's. I have the AC turned off in here. I don't think it's this one.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it at all now. Oh, that's bizarre.
Okay, I don't hear it in the background now, so hopefully, if that was it.
Okay.
I think I'm petting the dog and thinking of maybe naming him Valentine. I don't know if she would like that or not.
Dog has a name.
Do you say that in character?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think as soon as you say it, Dasha just starts crying. Because, like, I think I'm the only one who, like, actually talked to her at all after she came back.
I did and rolled terribly.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I think just anything associated with Valentina is really a sore point for Dasha, especially now. I shouldn't have. I don't know. I guess even if I had tried to land at the base, I don't know if I could have helped. But maybe I should have tried. Or fuck, maybe it would have made things worse.
She was a good pilot before they did that to her. If she had been flying instead of me.
Yeah. Yeah. I was. Did she ever tell you what they did to her?
No, not.
All those like bruises all over her. They They made her beg them to hit her, or they would torture her baby brother. That's how fucked up they are. Honestly, I was afraid that they would do something like that to Hannah.
That they didn't.
No.
It,
Hannah knows how to handle them, though. I don't think Valentina did.
is that all it is? Have you heard that? You must have heard all the rumors about Hannah.
I've heard them. I don't think they're true. I think. I mean, look, I would trust Hannah. I do trust Hannah with my life every night. I don't think. I don't think she's going to. I don't know what. I don't think she's going to make up anything about any of us to fend them off. I mean, I haven't heard anything from the NKVD. They haven't come to me and said, "Hey, so your section mate says this, right?" And I assume you haven't either, because you're here, and Masha hasn't said anything. I mean, I don't know what should we tell them anyway?
Masha says she trusts her too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're all loyal soldiers. What could they possibly? What could they want from us? What could they want from her? I mean, sure, we all do things that are not 100% approved of, but none of us is a traitor. None of us is a defector. Like, we're all doing our best.
I don't know if that matters.
Maybe not.
Rudina wasn't arrested. Rudina wasn't tried for treason.
It's true. I don't think she was defecting. I don't know why I don't know if it was the NKVD or if it was Major Ursulov specifically, and I don't know what they had against her, but I think they just made that up. I don't think any of it was true. I might be wrong. This is not something I know about. I don't know. I don't know politics. I don't understand people half the time. So I hope I'm wrong. Your dog looks like he's fine. He'd never know he was in that plane. He does smell a little like burnt hair, but
His hair was so filthy, he's better off without it.
maybe it'll kill the mange.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So Masha, that kind of felt like scene there. Masha, what have you been up to recently?
Tell me if this sounds far-fetched, but Masha is hunting for one of those hand-cranked printing things, something that will print a stencil.
Yeah.
Does that sound plausible?
It would be a scrounge roll.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I knew it would at least be a roll, but I was wondering if it was.
Well, I mean, was there a particular reason for wanting it?
Because I know Hana wants to print some material, some educational material, and I guess Masha is not an ideologue, but she probably is realizing now something like that will protect us.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're about to have some downtime, so I'm going to put that on hold just because I don't think it's like the most interesting part of like wrapping up. Like, is that a terrible thing or
no? So I mean, really, I guess in terms of the kind of drama and interpersonal, it's to come back to base with it for Hana.
Let's just say that you find one. Maybe it's in poor condition, but it's something. Does that sound good?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what Hana is doing when Masha finds her, but it's she's carrying this big old box, maybe in a hand cart or something like this, and it's like the tarp or the blanket that's covering, and it's like ta-da.
Yeah, Hannah looks up from some, political text, and her eyes widen. Where did you get this?
The command guys in the 301st, they scrounged a German one which works better, and this one was just sitting outside the tent going a begging. So I said, hey, you guys using that? We could use one in the unit, and they told me to go ahead, and yeah.
And it's probably the first time you see Hannah smile at all. She jumps up, claps in her hands, gives you a kiss on the cheek, and says, "You're a genius."
Well, no paper, I'm afraid. As a job for another day.
We find paper. I didn't know that you care for political education at all.
Well, the way I see it, this is political protection, right?
It is. But if you come and I order you to come, you might pick up something. Because for you it might all be like just words. But we're fighting fascism, and we want to have a new world after that. And what will it be if not free people in a free country, free from the shackles of oppression?
Hannah, tell me what you were doing when the Germans invaded, and before you, or after the Germans invaded and you volunteered. You were sitting in a lecture hall espousing economic theories. You know what I was doing? 12-hour factory shifts pressing parts for Zis 5 guns. That's what I was doing.
And it's not right that I have all the time in the
Don't lecture me about workers, the role of workers' rights in making this world a better place.
But together, like the intellectuals and the workers, we can achieve this. This is just words for you, but it is an ideal. We can. What is your ideal? Just working, and then what?
Putting food on the table, not living in fear every minute of every day.
There's a beautiful old saying: humans are only humans when they play, and this is the new world that we want to build. It's where we have enough time to not work 12 hours a day. That's what is in it.
Well, after the war, you come visit, and if we are leaving food on the plate and not whispering in paranoid tones about the NKVD or whatever they're calling themselves in the future, then we can toast.
Hannah lowers her voice and says, "These are leeches. They are not communists for me. They don't represent us. They don't represent what we are fighting for."
I think Masha gives Hannah a hug and whispers into her ear, "See, that's why you have to lead us. You have the vision." And you can believe in that kind of stuff. I can't.
And Hannah laughs and says, "My father always said people who have visions should go to the hospital."
Sounds like a smart man.
Says the woman who sees ghosts.
That's true.
Okay.
So things start mellowing out over the next couple of days. There's hints, orders start coming in to start getting equipment back into top shape. Less runs are going out. There's more things that are normally staples that are permanently set up are being told to pack up. And you're pretty sure that orders are going to come any day now to move the airfield to a new location. There's continuing to be good news about the front and that it's moving forward, and that you've really given those Germans, that Russia has hit the Germans hard and are starting to push back on them. And one day, everyone is told in a scramble to basically woken up to be prepared for a presentation ASAP. And a caravan comes in of several trucks, and you are basically in formation lined up as a man gets out of the truck, followed by a whole entourage. And actually, a couple of women get out of the truck as well. Masha, you recognize one of them. you see Lieutenant Adropova.
So I guess whoever I'm standing next to in formation, I'll give them a nudge and says, identify her as my friend Evgenia, who has shut down 5+ Nazis at this stage.
So the interesting thing about this is the entourage has people with pens and paper writing furiously. It has a couple of photographers taking pictures. This is more than just a visit to the regiment. There is a lot of records being kept of this. And the man turns to address the whole regiment, and people who are in the know recognize that he's got Lieutenant General basically medals on. And he says, "For those who are not aware, I am Lieutenant General Igor Nichenko." Quite a name, huh? I have come out here because I personally want to recognize the hard work you dedicated women have shown these past weeks to the Soviet Air Force. I have been impressed with your success, especially in the last few days, and your efforts were critical in our recent successes. You should feel proud, and your country should feel proud. There's applause, little fanfare. However, I'm not the only one who wishes to say something. Some of my friends from the 586th Fighter Regiment have requested to speak to you. Some men and women from stand up, and it's actually Andropova who is addressing you. And she says, "We have become aware that we noticed during the raid 3 evenings ago that several of your pilots broke from your mission to interfere with our air fight. We understand one of your own died because of this attempt. And we want to apologize for that loss. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your camaraderie, your dedication, and your friendship." Pictures, the whole thing. And basically the whole, fanfare goes on for a while. And there's a meet and greet afterwards.
So I guess as soon as Evgenia is not hobnobbing with the brass, I'll sidle over.
Masha, big hug, kiss on the cheek. Little shallow on the cheek, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember your tail number that night, so I didn't know to look out for you. But I think we're the ones who saved your ass from that fuck wolf.
Only you would be so crazy to do that.
Well, let me introduce you to Hannah, because she was my pilot that night. And
She
frankly...
yeah, is Hannah right with you?
Yeah. Actually, spouting her medal, flashing her medal.
Yeah, she's got one of those and two other ones. But she takes you, your hand in both of hers. Goes, oh, thank you so much. I was worried that my co-pilot, that me and my co-pilot wouldn't have made it out of that one.
What is with Dasha and Ira? Is Ira out of the hospital?
Yeah. Let's say this has been enough time. Like, you're still bandaged up. You're not in fighting shape, but you're definitely at the ceremony.
Yeah.
I wave them over.
Yeah, I picture Ira getting cropped out of every picture because of her burnt up face and bandage.
Yeah.
A little to the left. A little to the left.
Ira's not so pretty anymore.
No.
I think Dasha's sort of like on the edge talking to Morova.
But Hannah called me over.
Yeah, like waving over. These were the other women who saved your asses.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. We risk our lives, every night out there. So it's good to know that you have our backs.
Yeah, it's important.
Very slowly. I mean, we were preparing for that for the previous 2 hours,
Oh, you're such a cut up.
I had a friend in your unit.
Oh?
Yeah. What are you doing here? Yeah, her name was Sarah. She died a while back, just a few months ago.
Yeah, she joined before I did. I remember she was not, she was always nice to me.
Yeah, she was pretty much nice to everyone. But I'm glad we were able to help you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they need to get you better planes, though. Those things were so slow.
Yeah, please tell someone higher up than us that.
I mean, I'm surprised you even get to where you're going at night.
Yeah, sometimes it's helpful.
Really?
But yeah, the Germans don't expect us to be so slow and don't expect us to be able to touch the ground and then take off again.
You did that? One of the girls in my unit swore that's what happened, and I thought she was shitting me.
No, that happened.
You are the craziest bitches I've ever heard of.
Yeah, well, gotta make up for the slow planes, right?
How they didn't just pick you off like a fish in a barrel is beyond me.
Me too, honestly.
So mingling continues. Is there anything else in particular people wanted to do during this? Anyone, does anyone want to talk to the general? Or try to talk to the general?
The general, no. I might thinking maybe inviting this woman, I don't remember her name, to pay her respects to Valentina Rudna.
Yeah, she would do it. She has this annoying habit of acting very personally attached to people she's barely interacted with. So she says some words about on behalf of Valentina, very flowery words and very expressive, but you just can't help thinking she never met Valentina. So why is she talking this much about her? The other annoying thing about that is there's the reporters and the photographers taking pictures of her giving this eulogy for Valentina. Like the reporters are hanging on her every word.
Yeah, I don't like her at all, but yeah, if it gives some recognition to Valentina's sacrifice, I guess I'll be happy with that.
Masha says in an aside, maybe as the kind of flashes are going off, every barrel of ink spilled in service to the motherland brings us closer to Berlin.
See, she should be doing your jobs, she says to the reporters. She's clever. Come on. How about a picture with me and Masha? So they pose, and then right at the last second, she turns and kisses you on the cheeks, and that's what the picture is. And it kind of continues like that. I think this is feeling like the time to just wrap up the duty station. The next day, there is a less formal, because it's just your regiment, meeting. Let's see.
I still need to pay my mark.
Ah, yes. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting. Did you have an idea of how to do that?
Yeah, I mean,
Was this tell a story of home, Horst?
yeah, it's a story of home. I don't know if I would have visited Ira while she was in the hospital.
I actually have an idea.
Go for it.
I think one of the reporters says it comes up to you when things are getting a bit slower and says, "So I'd like to do a side piece about the woman who saved the Flying Bride. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about where you're from, how you came to be here."
I mean, I wouldn't tell him the stories I would tell my friends, obviously. So,
if this doesn't work for you, we can just say, yeah, you tell some, bullshit story.
yeah, I would tell him like the most party line, propaganda bullshit I could come up with.
Mm-hmm. You can tell that you're kind of boring him to tears, and he's too polite to say, "Yep, I've decided to scrap the story."
But what I would, I don't know. Either when we are all together in the barracks before we go to sleep. It is decided that we will move west, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah would sit on the bunk bed again, dangling her legs. Maybe we have, some leftover vodka from the general's visit.
Oh yeah, people were totally hoarding his booze that he brought. Like it's like, oh yeah, we'll this is how much booze we'll need, and like the girls were totally like just hiding bottles, like so that there were not going to be any leftovers. So he has the impression that your unit really knows how to drink.
And I think she tells the story of when Hannah was a kid. They would build this hut every year, and they would live there for a couple of days. and that she always felt super safe. And they had olives and honey and grains and all the tasty things. And that's her story. And it's like the last time she felt safe, and then they took her father away.
You're telling this to
Like,
Ira? Or
yeah,
to everyone, or
to yeah, I imagine that we sleeping in the same barracks, and obviously you three are there, and whoever survived from the last mission.
I don't imagine that Ira would even, if you're not being a little more explicit about it, that this is a Jewish holiday celebration. Ira's from, Nowheresville, Siberia, so she's not familiar with Jews at all, I don't think. So I don't think that side of it would even be like, that all sounds weird. What?
Yeah, I think because she told the secret to Dasha already. So
yeah.
it's
But
she's
I
not.
think. Well, I think the key thing that you talked about that you essentially haven't felt safe ever since then.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be the thing that really means something to Ira. I think maybe. I think Ira wants to eyeball Hannah. Let's see. Come on, dice. What kind of ending are we getting? 4, 5, 6, and what is it? Plus skill, so a 7.
That would be one question.
Okay. Oh. Looking at the list, I guess what does she want is the closest to, what is Hannah's real motivations? Is what Ira wants to know.
What you can definitely see is that Hannah is more than a little bit drunk, glowing from the vodka, and I think that she wants to communicate that the feeling that she had then, the feeling of family and being among people that she loves, is the closest that she has ever been since then with you guys. Although safe, obviously, is very relative. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that Ira has much to say about that, but yeah, there's beginnings of some trust there, I guess. Yeah.
Trust is like a plant that needs to grow, obviously. Season 2.
So the next evening, your Hannah is there is the mission briefing, which is the whole regiment all together, and they say, before we go into what our future orders are, we have a few things we need to recognize. First, Hannah Rutman, please step forward. On behalf of the Soviet Republic and confirmed by Lieutenant General Mishushenko, we bestow upon you the rank of lieutenant. And they pin the lieutenant in on you. Irina Gordievskaya, please step forward. On behalf of the Soviet Union, and confirmed by Lieutenant General Bibdede, we bestow upon you the rank of junior lieutenant. Kardina also is getting a promotion, as well as a couple of other girls from other sections. And then they also call up, after all of the promotions, Sergeant M. Gerasimova. For shooting down the infamous pilot affectionately known as Yellowtail. And she has to be interrupted because the whole regiment is cheering and hooting and hollering. Look, you're showing amazing ingenuity in shooting, in finding a way to shoot down a German pilot. Thus showing courageous defense of the of our state borders and ensuring successful military preparation. I award you the Battle of Merit. And when she pins on the medal, please don't tell anyone about the machine gun. By the way, that was all done by Petrova. Hannah, you know that you probably are picking up that Petrova is totally altering the facts in the paperwork.
Duly noted.
So, our new orders is that we are to finish packing up camp, and we are going to be advancing to Peshkovskaya to set up a new Air Force base to continue our mission. We have 1 week to be operational. That is a lot of work, girls. We still have planes that need to get in tip-top shape. So get to work. And that's the season.
Awesome.
I hope that felt like a good closing for the season.
Tea and medals for everyone. That's how it goes, right?
Yep.
I was kind of pushing for more of a heroic ending to the season. So I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast, and then we can debrief a bit.